Keep rolling.
You do it for the nookie. Yeah, the nookie.
Limp Bizkit was the hottest thing.
It was big
around at one time.
They were great. And you know what? I'm gonna say something.
Go ahead.
I liked it. I didn't mind it. It was okay. It was a pump.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Hey. And,
you want to know what else is hot?
What's that?
The sports show.
Just take it away from him. Under 4 left. The barn is alive again.
Yeah, it's the sports show. Got me in my hormones. All gas, no brakes. Score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3.
Listen, episode 289 coming right at you. Not audio, but now back to visual. That's right. This is what we're talking about. We're back on the YouTube. We took a little bit of hiatus because we were just figuring a couple things out. Listen, you're listening to the sports show. It's episode 289. Starting the new year, just do a couple things for us.
Nice.
Subscribe to 2 channels.
2 things.
First channel you want to subscribe to, YouTube, Sports Show Podcast. Look it up, blue and white logo. You're going to do the exact same thing when you go to Instagram if you haven't done it already. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to tell a friend. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to put that alarm bell or plug in on Podbean, Spotify, and iTunes.
Hey.
Wherever you're streaming it, doesn't matter to me. It's great.
That's what I say.
Here's the other thing.
Okay.
We're on the CJSW.
Right.
90.9 FM, local university radio station here in Calgary. It's phenomenal.
It's
great.
It's pretty good.
And let me tell you something. We play on the third Tuesday of every single month.
Yeah.
11:30 a.m., 8:30 p.m. It seems to be working. We also do this show called The Greek Hour.
Hey, it's pretty big.
Now, listen, we thought it was okay.
We knew it was good.
We knew it was good.
Good.
You know, we knew the sports show that you're listening to was good.
But we just got the ratings.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's not even close.
When I'm telling you, and I'm just going to put it so eloquently this way. I'm looking. Let me get in.
Get deep in.
I want you to look at me for a second.
Look at Dimitri.
Look at me.
Look at his eyes.
Adam Camus. He's you know where we got Mike McGuire, who's the podfather on the wrestling show.
The other side.
Adam Camus is the podfather. He's
the guy.
Granddaddy.
Granddaddy
Adam. Okay.
Yeah.
Granddaddy Cammy. Listen. He tells us,
said to us,
that one of actually the largest broadcasting Canadian conglomerate, local Calgary producer said, and I quote, they do the best radio in Calgary. I can't make it up.
Calgary. He used the word all.
Tell Mitch, how did he say it?
I looked at Dimitri. I looked at Dimitri, I looked at Adam, and I thought he was kind of pulling our leg a little bit. He looked at us dead in the eye and goes, guys, the guy said you guys are the best radio in all of Calgary.
All. Listen, I'm known to put a little salt and pepper on my stories. It's how I tell them.
It's how
I do it to get you engaged.
Right.
But I got a witness.
I was there.
I don't make them up. I just make them sound good.
The whole thing.
All of Calgary.
All of it. But can I be honest?
Go ahead.
When he said it, how happy were you?
Listen, Mitch. Elated. All jokes aside.
But hold on. How surprised were you?
That it took this long, very.
Maybe. Honestly, and I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not surprised. Listen, I am not being cocky. I am not trying to be. Dimitri and I have been doing this for a long time. It's not like we just grabbed these mics yesterday and just do what we do. This took a long time. And for anyone that's been listening from day one, they know there's been a nice incline of good progress with us.
Damn, you look good on that video.
But
I'm looking at you right now.
What I'm saying is that Dimitri and I worked hard at this craft, and it's nice to hear that we're being. I gotta take the glasses off. Are we being sought after? I think we're being sought after.
I think you could say that we are what's called a sought after commodity.
Is this what Nylander and the rest of the free agents feel like?
I feel a little I want to backtrack because if this is what he was going through, of course he was holding out.
You should have held out.
Now, like, hey.
Give the money back and wait for this. Nothing beats this feeling.
Get 12. Outside of it, let's get to some sports now.
Let's do it now.
Okay?
Enough of us.
4 more minutes.
So, the other day, you know me, I'm perusing the nets.
What do you think was going to happen?
That's what I'm doing. So, 2 things came to my eye real quick. Dimitri, first things first. And there's kind of a theme today on all the sports over the last week, you guys. Tons of stuff came through. I know you guys all saw a little bit of pieces of it. Dimitri and I are going to put a little I'll say goo on each on every one of them. So let's start with a little Tiger Woods and Nike breaking up. 27-year relationship. It's over. I mean, the reason I bring it up is I was a little surprised. Nike stuck with Tiger for 27 years through the championships, through his rookie seasons, through his beating of, his wife came after him with a golf club, through his Perkins affairs. Tiger. And then, let's call it what it is. He fell hard off the map and then he rose back up to the top. And maybe he's not the best golfer in all of the world, but he's still awesome. I'm actually surprised that they broke up. Thoughts on the Tiger breaking up with the Nike?
It's one of those things that you feel they could have used him even in his golden age.
That's what I'm saying.
Some kind of, but it's a business. Look, it was a good run. I think Nike at the same time, isn't it crazy that in the landscape of sports and sports sponsorships, you're looking at a Tiger Woods,
right?
And you're saying it's time to move on. We can get marketing, a different way.
That's true.
He is losing his luster a little bit as well. I mean, let's call it what it is. Tiger Woods is always going to be Tiger Woods, but he is losing his luster. You do have to look. Let's call it what it is. Nike is a Greek word.
It's
the Greek goddess of victory. Okay, Nike. So
was that what it is?
Yeah, Nike.
I know Nike, but I didn't. Oh,
the Greek goddess of victory.
All these years. Didn't know.
Seriously?
Swear to you, I knew it was a Greek word. I knew it was a Greek thing, but the way they pronounced it all these years, I never took
Nike.
that extra effort.
It's the Greek goddess of victory.
I never sat there and said, Nike could be the
Nike
same thing.
right?
I never honestly put the extra effort into it.
Really?
Learned something today.
And we're both
show.
Greek.
This is it.
See, we're educational. That's why we're the best.
That's why we're the best.
All of Calgary.
All.
So, so to stick to that brand, you got to remember, Nike also needs representatives that are winning.
True.
That's just leave it at that.
But you said it. You know what? You said something at the very beginning. Even in the golden ages, look at Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, all those guys. Like, why wouldn't you still want to keep them on the menu? I guess is what I'm saying.
They can restructure the deal to make it a little more appropriate.
Is Tiger Woods the liver and onions on the menu today? Sure, but you still keep it on the menu.
Someone's going to order it.
Somebody's going to order it. That's what I'm saying.
My dad.
Exactly. So I'm perusing the nets last week. After all the football, and we'll get to that, don't worry. Oh. The Golden Globes are on. I'm like, you know what? What a nice way to end the Sunday night. Sure, I'll put it on.
Sure.
Joe Coy, he's hosting. I'm going to say something to you, Golden Globes.
Didn't you watch that guy live?
I have, and he's phenomenal, you guys. He's great live from a few years ago. Lately, he's gone on this kind of, I don't know, other way, like he's doing things a little differently. I'm not the biggest fan of how he's doing things today, but on 10 days notice, he takes the gig to be the Golden Globe host. I'm not putting this on him. I'm just saying he was the host of the show. Golden Globes, listen, you got a room full of people, celebrities, high style, Leo DiCaprio, De Niro, Taylor Swift, everyone's there. What are you guys all so uptight for? Why is it that the Golden Globes, which looks like a fun little event, tables are nicely kind of stacked together, everyone's kind of close, rubbing the shoulders, as they say. Why are you guys so uptight? Have some fun. Taylor Swift got mad because Joe Coy made a comment how they're not panning the cameras to her every 5 seconds. Hey, Taylor, there's nothing to be upset about. It was kind of it was a little cheesy joke, but that's what you guys have created here, a cheesy event. The ESPYs are the greatest award show of all time. That's where I'm going with this whole thing. Bring back the ESPYs. Let everyone go haywire. What is all this back and forth? Oh, you hurt my feelings. Get lost. The ESPYs, best award show. Oscars, take note. Golden Globes, wake up and have some fun. Have some fun.
Like, what are you there for?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Come on, isn't it like a night out? Like, aren't you supposed to be? And you can tell the people that are having fun. Like, when they pan out, they're like, that was a good one. It got me. That's the whole point.
It's a fun thing.
It's like, to me, this is what I could never understand about the whole thing.
Right.
They get like, and Joe Coy, like, I didn't think his monologue was very funny.
No, it wasn't.
But on 10 days notice, when you got writers and you're trying to come up with stuff, and let's call it what it is, you got to follow the Gervais.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he set a big precedent. The point that I'm making is, okay, you guys as celebrities take so much more heat,
right,
as actors, athletes, That's going to bother you?
That's what I'm saying.
So, yes, the ESPYs, to bring it back to sports, is the greatest award show.
It really is.
Of all time. It really is.
One last thing. All of you guys have fun. All of you guys are, like, you're on TMZ in some way or another. How about this? Next year, just throwing this out there, do what we think you're doing. Get drunk. Get belligerent. Get crazy. Do some drugs. You know what I mean? You want ratings? Do that. I'll tune in. He'll tune in.
Yeah.
Everybody will tune in if we know that you guys are actually acting the way we know you act on a Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That'd be pretty cool.
It would be
like
cool.
a real reality TV show.
That's what I'm talking about.
We have the appetite for it. Good point.
Thank you. So, speaking of All-Stars, the All-Star Weekend. We talked about it last week. We're off to the NHL. Big deal happened last week. It happened right when we were putting the pod on. Our buddy, Connor Bedard, the guy that's going to win Rookie of the Year, even if he's here or not here, broke his jaw, gone for 5 to 7 weeks. He's not going to obviously be able to attend the Toronto event, the All-Star game. Dimitri, is this a big deal right now for the NHL that Connor Bedard's out? Or is it maybe an opportunity to say, okay, this guy, he's going to be around for a long time. A couple of other guys, we can kind of showcase them because maybe they're getting not the spotlight. He's getting all, like, let's call it what it is. The NHL season, especially this year, started. First 2 games of the season, all about Connor Bedard, right? Okay, maybe they need to just back it up. Not that they should. Like, if he was around, the spotlight is where it needs to be. But with him back, is it a big deal? Not a big deal with the All-Star game with Connor Bedard gone.
So, in terms of the NHL fan, it's actually not that big of a deal.
Right.
Right? Because the NHL fan's already an NHL fan.
They love it.
But I'll tell you why it is a big deal in the grand scheme of sports, and it's to what you said. He's a big promotional item for that first-time viewer or that I'm starting to kind of get into hockey viewer because he's extremely marketable.
Right.
Here's this kid that we've been promoting. He's in Chicago, a big, large American market just for sports in general. And now he's going to be at the All-Star game. And now you get to see him here. So it is a blow from a marketing standpoint of that marquee person doesn't get to kind of finish that year off and ride that hype train, right? So it is a tough one because, like I said, the NHL faithful are going to watch it to begin with. I mean, the All-Star game, to me, the selection is a joke, and the fact that people watch it knowing that the best players aren't even in it at times just goes to show me that you could literally put NBA players on the NHL All-Star game and we'll watch it.
I would watch that.
That actually is
That's like watching giraffes walk for the first time. Yeah. That's what that would be.
I think there should be a sports decathlon of athletes playing everyone else's games against each other.
You know what? Years ago, swear to God, there was. I saw a clip a little while ago where Gretzky raced like Carl Lewis and some other people.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you know what? He actually did pretty good.
That's
the Gretzky back in the day did pretty good.
Well, the thing is my money's on Cat Williams.
Who isn't right now?
Did you see the video?
I saw the video.
Is that legit? That can't be legit.
I think it's legit. I think it's legit.
The 447. And he said, I swear, Mitch, I looked at it. I'm like, so that's what Mitch looks like running.
That's it.
Now I can only think of you.
I'm doing 445. I'm just saying. Do you guys want to see the calves?
Look at look at those things. Jeez, the clubs, man. The clubs.
They don't fool around.
It's like what the Iron Sheik used to like
whip around. Exactly. You know what? I agree with everything you're saying. I think it's a shame that, his first year. But guess what? If you guys remember or go back to the archives, McDavid broke his leg first year, rookie season. Ended up not winning the Calder because of it. But, he's done pretty good since. So it's okay.
He's not bad.
We'll see him around. Just saying. Now, we move on to the second subject in the NHL. I left it for number 2 because it's going to take a little bit of time to uncover this one.
Okay.
So you got this guy named Cutter Gauthier, all right? Who is he? 2022 5th-round overall pick. By who? The Philadelphia Flyers. Who is he? He's recently, he's trying to make the team. He's on the team. But where he is, Team USA. Just went over to Sweden. I don't know if you heard about it. Me and Dimitri talked about it. They won the gold medal. Not a big deal. Yeah. He went there as a Flyer, comes back and says, hey, I want out of Philly. I don't want to do anything with you guys. I'm not talking to anybody. Briere, GM, Jones, president, what's his name? John Tortorella. Hey, I'm out of here. Just get me traded. They work the back channels. They get him traded over to Anaheim for Jamie Drysdale and a second rounder. Not bad at all. Overall, now, what happened was, this is the part that everyone seems to be really kind of, let's call it, quiet about, is that the Philadelphia Brass came out and said, yeah, he wanted to get traded, and we worked the back channels, and we're happy everyone kind of kept it secret, and we were able to trade. But if you kind of read in between the lines, there was a little bit of, like, shots to the side going, yeah, he wanted out. We don't know what the problem is. Then there was other rumors coming out that, like, Kevin Hayes, who used to play in Philadelphia, he's an American-born player as well, who now plays for St. Louis, turned around and said, kind of nudged him and said, hey, you know what, apparently Philly's not the place to be. Since then, that report has been debunked. That's not a real thing that happened. Kevin Hayes came out adamantly and said, I had nothing to do with this. I don't even know the kid. I didn't say anything to him. But Dimitri, where do you stand on this kid who hasn't really played in the NHL too much, coming in one day, going, I'm happy to be a Flyer, his words, not mine, and the next day, the kid's going, get me out of here as soon as possible?
Let me tell you who's at fault here.
Yeah, I'd like
I had time to think about it.
Thank you.
I had time to process.
I'm listening.
I had time to do an investigation.
Okay.
You know who I blame? I blame you, Eric Lindros.
Lindros.
Let me tell you why. You were supposed to play in Quebec.
Right.
For the Nordiques.
That's correct.
And you walked up and said, I don't want to play for the Canadian team. I want to go to Philadelphia.
That's a good point.
And you made this whole thing about it. And now, guess what, Phil? You guys are all, oh, look, we got Lindros. You know, be careful of those omens and those curses.
That's right.
Guy gets concussions. Guys can't play. Philly hasn't won anything since. I mean, they made it to a final, but they didn't really do too well, did they?
Granted.
They lost to the Blackhawks.
True.
Now look, now people don't want to play in Philly, so you're getting Phillied right now. You see what I'm saying,
I see
Philly?
what you're saying.
You see what's going on over here? Now people don't want to play in Philly, so you, Eric Lindros, need to fix this.
So Lindros wrecked this.
Lindros wrecked it.
Right.
No one wants to be in Philly anymore. Listen,
I have to say, first off, when you were gone in Greece, I don't know if I did it this year or I did it last year, I talked about the whole Philly thing. Because to me, I mean, they basically gave away one guy for Forsberg and a whole bunch of other guys. And look at yeah, exactly.
You know how I feel about the cash trades.
And now look at Colorado/Quebec.
Yeah.
Anyways, we digress. But Dimitri, don't you find it a little weird? How is it that one day, literally, he's on the plane, Philly, I'm going to miss you. I'm off to Sweden to win us a gold medal. They win the gold medal. Hey, Cutter. What a weird name. Cutter, what's up, buddy? Oh, I need to get traded now.
Sorry, it's Kudrick. Okay.
Is that what it is?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying the way you would say it to them. Look, you know what I can't stand? I can't stand secrecy.
Yes.
I want the drama.
I want the
and
drama,
I want
too.
You to listen, either Philly, you spill the beans and be like, yeah. Like, if he did you dirty like that, I would go out and be like, you want to know what the problem was?
Yeah.
This is what he said the problem was, and we don't agree. So we shipped them. Like, start a little controversy. It's between my agent, my family, and that's it. And that's where it's going to stay. No, I don't want to stay. Why are you out?
Yeah.
What? And here's the other thing. Do you know something that everyone else doesn't know? Why aren't you protecting the other people? I don't buy this goody two-shoes. No.
And can we say something?
He's
on Philly right now, which is doing pretty well. They're in playoffs right now if they were to start. But he like demands a trade. They end up sending him over to Anaheim, one of the worst teams in the league right now. Granted, up and coming. But still, I can't seem to understand, like, how is it that one day you're cool and the next you're not?
I don't think it was one day. There's reports that this has been going on for a while.
Now, if you're Philly, are you happy with what you got in return? This is a 5th-round pick overall.
Hold on a sec. I personally think that Philadelphia came out on top on this.
I agree with you.
I mean, number one, Drysdale's a good, promising defenseman. He's already been incorporated.
Exactly.
I mean, it probably, in a way, and I think Drysdale's probably a little happy. He's like, oh my goodness, I get to go to a playoff. Like, basically, Drysdale just leapfrogged what Anaheim's going to be in a few years.
Right.
If things continue.
Right.
And he's like, so I get to go to Philly, an established, like, and a second rounder?
Yeah.
I mean, this is working out great. Talk about, it's like card trading.
Right.
Philadelphia basically got rid of their rookie card and got something really good in return for it.
I couldn't agree more. I'm with you on this one. I think Philly got a good, a good haul for the scenario. Like, look, Cutter might turn out to be a Maga. Let's call it what it is. The guy was,
of course,
pretty much a Maga in Sweden. He's one of the main components of that team. But I still can't figure it out. Because, look, I'm going to be honest. Philly, great city, sports city. It's got it all. Fan base is rabid. Like, okay, they could be good or bad, your best friend or your worst enemy. I get it. But you're now going to Anaheim? I guess you know what, and okay, let's also throw in the Torts situation. Torts, when they asked Torts, what did you think of it? He's like, I don't know him from a hole in a wall. So it doesn't sound like Torts has that much of a relationship with. So it doesn't seem like Torts was the problem, which most people might think it was.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think he was. To me, you know what this smells like?
Yeah.
To avoid any kind of defamation suit or it was just, let's just cut some. Of course, something big happened.
Something happened.
You don't just get drafted to the Philadelphia Flyers and then get really unhappy. But there was something, I was watching Elliot Friedman, and he was saying something along the lines of they didn't commit to the contract for him last year, and he was a little jaded, and that kind of started problems and blah blah blah. But I don't know, man.
If anyone knows anything, it's the Friedman. He knows.
It's the Friedman.
That guy, he's the Kots king, eh?
If he was Greek,
yeah,
he's everything.
He's everything.
I like his style.
Oh, Elliot.
And they all come to him too. That's the best part.
Where is Elliot?
You know how this guy's so gifted? They actually come to him knowing that he's going to leak it.
Well, he has to. That's his job.
No, I know, but they still come to him. He's
Right.
he's like the nicest thief on the planet.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
like
Reminds us of a guy we know.
Hey, I know a guy like that, exactly. One more subject, little matter that happened this week. I told you, a lot of news came up. So last week we reported right here, Nylander was offered and he took it. Except he got a couple extra bucks. I like to think me and Dimitri had a little something to do with that.
You're welcome.
Last week we reported 8-year, 11.25. Turns out it was 11.5 on the 8-year. So got a little bit of the increase. Dimitri, as I look at it now, okay, this to me now spells everything. Mitch, you're gone, buddy. July 1st, you might as well just start looking around. I'm only saying that because as I was looking at a lot of reports and I was looking at the numbers and I was looking at everything, John Tavares and Mitch are able to renegotiate their contracts come July 1st. But let's call it what it is. If you got a budget, if your dad gives you a $100 budget for the month, you can't spend it all on candy. You just can't. You're going to have to buy a little bit of, you got to buy something else with that $100. And I think Toronto right now basically said it without saying it. Mitch, we'd love to have you, but your allowance is going to have to kind of be reasonable. We can't give you more than what you think. And at 11.5, he's setting a precedent. He's setting that number. Are you going to give Mitch 12? Are you giving him the same? You kind of have to give him a little lower so that you can get the other guys in. We talked about it.
Oof, that's that's a long, long game because with that contract is, we want to keep you. Yeah, you're good. Of course, everything great, blah, blah, blah. But along with that is, it's not just Mitch, it's Matthews, right? In 4 years, right? Because he did the 4 year.
Yeah, he did the 4 year.
Right? So it's Marner, it's Matthews. So to me, this was... that Treliving does not have an easy task whatsoever.
No, Dubas did not leave him any meat on the bone.
No. But if Dubas was to, here's the difference though. If Dubas was to stay, he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he would have offered contracts in accordance to kind of the decision-making process.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Didn't he kind of tell Brendan? He was like, listen, Mitch, you might have to go. And he's like, you said, what'd you say about Mitch? What did you say about Mitch?
You know how we feel about Mitch.
Pack your crap and get out of here.
That's right.
That's what happened.
That's right.
That's what happened.
So, look, I think, he held out. He got more money.
Right.
He took the contract. But, the only thing is I would not, if everyone else leaves.
Right.
And then you're just stuck with the Nylander type deal, right?
Yeah.
Then it's, ooh. But not a bad person to be stuck with.
Watch this. Funny you bring up other players because what I did a little perusing again, and I went through. You guys know we're not the stat guys, but this time I brought in some stats. So if you look at how much he's making this year now, okay, 11.5, he'll be making next year. You got right now Nathan McKinnon making 12.6, number one in the league.
Okay.
McDavid 12.5, Panarin, the bread man, at 11.62, and Austin Matthews 11.64. Those are your top guys right now. I would say all four of these guys. The Panarin, it's the timing. I remember some of this, okay? When we get down to who's matching, we're going to play a little match game, Dimitri.
Okay.
When you're talking about the matching of Nylander versus this guy, who would you rather have on your team? They're either making the same or a little bit less. You tell me if they're worth it. Ready?
Okay.
Erik Karlsson, 11.5 as well.
I'd rather at this point have Nylander.
Pasternak is making less at 11.25.
I'd rather have Pasternak.
John Tavares, his captain, his buddy, right across from him, is making an even 11.
I'd rather take Nylander now.
Exactly. Drew Doughty, 11.
Nylander.
Marner, 10.9.
I like Marner better than Nylander.
Okay,
I
so
take the Marner.
let's look at that right now. Look at this. You got Austin Matthews, 11.6, Tavares at 11, Marner at 10.9, and our boy Nylander, as we just talked, is making 11.5 now. There's no way that Marner takes less. There's no way. It's either Marner, keep the same money, or we'll pinch you up to 11, or you got to go. It's like, what if you're Mitch, you can't think you're going to get 12. There's no way. There's no way. Huberdeau, 10.5. Mind you, yesterday had 3 assists.
So I think on this one, for the long game, Huberdeau.
How about a little Jack Eichel?
Ooh, that's
10 even.
This is a tough one. You know, it kills me because I actually like Eichel better.
Yeah.
But I take Nylander because Eichel's got a little injury issues.
Here's one. Bobrovsky.
The
10.
Nylander.
Yeah. And Barkov at 10.
Barkov.
You know, you think about that. Barkov and Bobrovsky both at 10. That's not a bad bargain. You got your goalie and you got the guy that's going to be taking over the Selke Award now. That's not
playoff
bad.
final.
That's what I'm saying.
It worked out.
And speaking of, let's head over to the power play list. Here we go.
Ooh.
Remember, it's based on a curve. At number 5, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Ottawa Senators. Losers of 5 straight games. They keep losing. We've had them on the report before. They got rid of their coach. They said, we don't care. We're going to keep losing. It's Ottawa at number 5.
Got to stick to your guns. Consistent.
At number 4, it's a team that's on a 9-game heater. It's the Florida Panthers. This is what I'm talking about. 10 plus 10. Give me a break.
The weather's changing.
No state tax. Hi, how you doing?
Wow.
Yes. Florida at number 4. At number 3, another 9-game heater. Look at Edmonton Oilers, man. It's getting scary. I almost want to apologize for what we said earlier this year. I want to apologize.
Listen. No. You more than me.
Me way more.
Should
I apologize?
You need a confession.
You know what?
I'm
not apologizing for anything. In fact, you guys owe Woodcroft an apology. You guys are better than that. And you guys got this guy fired.
Yeah, they got him fired.
You got him fired.
Legitimately.
This team's the exact same team. What did he do? Well, he didn't do anything to you guys.
New coach is changing and be like, wow.
Oh, hey, you go here, you go there. Oh, is that all it was?
Listen,
no, it wasn't.
Unfortunately, it was McDavid and Draisaitl that got Woodcroft fired. Because now they're on a heater.
And Hyman's got the most goals on that team? Hyman?
Are we better with Coleman as our number 1 guy?
I like it.
Do you, though?
At number 2, it's the Vancouver Canucks. Hey, you know what? They got the best name for their number 1 line. They call them the Lotto line. So
the Lotto line.
Did you see that? It was so funny. So good. And then
I watched that game with the Penguins yesterday.
Yes.
Excellent game.
Great game.
To me, it's like, that's playoff hockey right there.
That's what it is.
Beautiful.
And at number 1, listen, I told them once, I'll tell them again. Winnipeg Jets, you don't let those fans in until they publicly apologize, just like I will publicly apologize to the Edmonton Oilers when you guys prove us wrong. The point is, though, you are proving your fan base wrong. How dare you guys not go to those games? This is a powerhouse team, man. And this is without Connor, their number 1 goal scorer.
Think of that deal I was talking about with the CD the other day with the Dubois.
I know.
I mean, if you want to question my boy's Mitch's philosophy of power by committee,
thank you.
All you have to look at is basically they took the 4th, I believe he was 4th overall pick in his draft year, but first rounder.
Yeah. For
a bunch of up-and-comer young guys that just fill the gaps. There is not. The last I checked the standings, they were number 1.
They are still number 1.
Okay,
as of this morning, yeah.
You guys, I mean, good goaltending, solid defense, rolling 4 powerhouse lines. Like, it's amazing how these teams like the Kings, the Jets, the Golden Knights got some firepower, but but how they build these teams out, like you guys, come on,
listen,
come on.
This team, Dimitri, I think the Jets are like. They're like Drago. They're like, just to your point, 4 solid lines ripping through.
Yeah, man.
No one's selfish. Everyone's passing the puck. It's like, they're fun though. I called them a couple weeks ago boring to watch. I was definitely wrong when I made that comment. I don't know if I was just hyper and stuff, but they are actually just big and strong and nasty and goaltending. You got it, man. They got it all. It's just, what's maybe unsexy? It's that they're in Winnipeg. I'm not trying to be rude to the Winnipeg fan. But that's what
true.
it is. Yeah,
it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
This team anywhere else is just being talked about that much more.
True. Yeah. Absolutely. We're off to the juggernaut. It's the NFL. Listen, last week, the regular season ended, and it ended.
This is me licking my chops.
It ended with some great games to figure out where the seeds are. Me and Dimitri even called each other, crying, excited, because our pack, we'll get to them in a minute. What a game. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, wait a minute. You said, you want to go to the Jets. Now, granted, you got hurt, and maybe you'd still be in a playoff position. But our boy Jordan Love coming through.
Is Green Bay the city of brotherly love? The new city of brotherly love?
The new city of brotherly love.
Ah, how delicious. Let's just jump into it. Let's talk it. Packers beat the Bears, made me happy because everyone knows how much I hate the Bears.
Exactly.
Okay. Second part of this is you got the number 1 pick overall. What do you now?
Yeah.
Anyhow, listen, we got Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something right now.
You don't want to wait for it? Do you want to wait for it? You want to go through it? You want to pick them right now? Yeah, why don't you let me go through? How about this? I'll leave it as the dessert. I'll leave it as the last one.
All I'm saying is that Green Bay lost games that they should have won, and they won games that they probably should have lost.
Agreed.
But at the end of the day, all I want to say is this: NFL, take some serious notice. You cannot convince me that the right way to bring in a quarterback is to take him from college and throw him right into the lion's den. Rarely in your lifetime are you going to get a Lamar Jackson. Are you going to get a Trevor Lawrence right now? He's competitive, okay?
Of course.
It just doesn't happen. As a Green Bay Packers fan, let's just call it right now. We have now solidified our position that we are comfortable with Jordan Love being on our team for however long it takes, okay?
Agreed.
He proved himself. But why? We're a team now that is going to have 4 quarterbacks over the case of over 5 decades. You guys. Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. Why? All of them put the reps in, took their time, relaxed, learned, absorbed, this is the way to do it. Yeah, so, we'll probably talk Chicago. You got the number 1 pick overall. Yeah, maybe you do get the quarterback. Maybe you ride Justin Fields, whatever the case is. But imagine if Fields, because he's been playing pretty good near the end.
He has, yeah.
What if he just sat 2-3 years on the bench?
Right. I agree. Listen, I couldn't agree more. We will talk more about that in the coming weeks because with the NFL playoffs now going to take full, kind of attention, we'll get to it. That's an interesting comment, and we're going to get to it. But let's go through the seeds right now.
Okay.
What we're set up for Wild Card Weekend. It's going to be exciting. In the AFC, the number 1 seed, it was solidified. Baltimore Ravens, they got the bye week. At number 2, Buffalo had to beat Miami. They ended up doing that. They take on the Steelers. Me and you talked about it. How the hell are the Steelers in the playoffs again? How do they keep doing it? And this is with Mason Rudolph.
You guys.
Started with Pickett. Then they have their own Mitch. Now they got Mason Rudolph.
How is Tomlin not coach of the year? How, you guys?
Unreal.
How?
The spread on this game is 10. Buffalo favored by 10 at home. Dimitri, what do you like?
Yeah, I like Buffalo here.
And cover the spread?
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough because the Steelers, they got a defense too. We got to forget about that, right? Mm-hmm. It's a game by committee here. But I like Buffalo here. I wouldn't be surprised if they cover that spread. But I like Buffalo's momentum.
I got to be honest. If Buffalo does what I think Buffalo sometimes can't help itself do, they have to play their game. If they lower themselves to Steelers kind of time or Steelers kind of play, the Steelers will beat them. The Steelers will grind them out and beat them. Josh Allen's on a heater right now. Let him do what he's got to do. I don't really like how he's playing in pressure situations. I was wrong about the game last week. I said that they would lose, but I wasn't wrong about his performance. He's lucky his special teams came to play.
Agreed.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
At number 3, it's KC taking on Miami. This line is 4.5. Who do you like in this one, Dimitri?
I think KC is just one of those playoff teams. I know what they've done in the regular season. I get all that. I absolutely get all that. But some tells me they're going to kind of figure it out right now. I think the teams that get into the playoffs that have experience, I think there's a switch that gets flipped. And I think with KC, it's going to be just that. It's a different level of focus.
You sat Mahomes last week, get him some rest. You sat Kelsey, got him some rest. I get it. You guys still ended up winning, beating the Chargers. Not a big accomplishment. Listen, Miami, if they get Monstered back and he's running, and you already got the rest of that team at high speed, I think there could be a little upset here.
But I don't think if Miami wins, it's an upset by no means. I think this is going to be a tight game. I just think KC is going to kind of see, because the thing that I look at is, what would KC as a team be like if these cracks in the windshield were fixed?
Right.
It'd be a pristine team.
It's pretty true.
Right? And all it takes is just that. They're doing everything right. It's just a couple drop balls here, a couple miscues.
Normally, I would agree with you, but you know what the problem is? 18 weeks have gone by, and it still hasn't been corrected. So why would we think that the wild card would be the day they were corrected? But you make a good point.
Mindset. I just think it's mindset. That's
I like what you're saying. The last game in the AFC, it's the Texans. Yes, the Houston Texans win their division, and they're hosting maybe everyone's kind of second favorite team to your favorite team. It's the Cleveland Browns. It's Team Flacco. How can you not cheer for this team?
How could you not cheer for this game? Yeah. Honestly, I really want to watch this game. Up-and-comer Stroud, another guy that you got lucky with. Okay? Up-and-comer Stroud versus Flacco and the Browns. But you know what?
Yeah.
That defense in Cleveland, I think, is going to be the real difference maker here.
Cleveland's favored by 2 in this game. So home dog in the playoffs? We'll see. NFC, we go over. It's the number 1 seeded San Francisco 49ers. They kind of got it solidified a little while ago. We'll jump to number 3 seed. It's Detroit taking on the Rams. This one is maybe the game of the week. I got to be honest.
I don't know.
From a drama point of view.
I'm not picking because I actually don't know. I'm going to wait and see.
Detroit's -3. I'm going to say this. I think, listen, Detroit fan, as much as I don't like you guys because you're in our division, I'm taking you guys because you guys need this. You guys deserve this. Don't get me wrong. Matthew Stafford, the Rams, they weren't supposed to be here either. But you guys, you've worked your ass off. In fact, my favorite player on your team is your coach. That's the funniest part of the whole thing. Yeah. That's the thing. At number 4 seed, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who won their division, taking on a team that started 10-1 and ended 11-5. It's you, Philadelphia Eagles. I got to be honest, a lot of people are like, don't worry. Kind of to your sentiment a minute ago about KC, I'm a little worried about Philly. I'm a little worried because it's not like Tampa Bay doesn't have some weapons, man.
Yeah, I agree, but this is the perfect matchup for Philly. Like, I'm worried about them as well.
Right.
Like, I am, because this is more than, see, it's one thing, like, my point with KC is this has kind of been going on all year. Right? It's a weird, disgusting consistency in their lackluster performance.
Right.
That they could turn it around because they haven't been playing potential.
Good.
Philly has been playing lights out with an extremely hard schedule, and now it's just ripped at the seams. Like they're wearing the same pants, but they changed their dietary habits.
Right.
It's gonna give.
Right? Like, it's a good point.
Doesn't matter. So, Philly, I'm just gonna say this. I'm picking you to win.
Yeah.
You couldn't have asked for a better tailor-made team for you to get some confidence to get back into the playoffs. This one is completely and utterly on you.
The spread on this one is 3, and it's Philly minus the 3. That's what I saw on the line here. I got to be honest. I don't know, man. I just, there's something wrong in Philly, and I don't know what it is. That's the thing. So I think I may take the points in this one. I'll probably regret it. I hope I do, because Philly versus any one of the other scenarios is a better matchup. It's more fun to watch, but they're just not convincing me right now. There's something wrong internally. And finally, you thought I was going to forget about it.
No, what'd you think? Come on.
It's the number 2 Dallas Cowboys, which, by the way, versus the Green Bay Packers, as we both know. But I want to send out a little love and thank you to Dallas. I won my fantasy. Why? Little Dak and a little CD. I had him on the team. Listen.
You won it?
I won it. I went in. It's a long story. I don't want to get into it, but I won the whole thing.
Get into it next week.
Yeah, I will.
You know how I would be when I win.
I was riding these guys. These guys were putting up fantasy points, and I'll tell you this because I was watching them like crazy. At home, this is a different team at home than when they're away.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Packers. Cowboys are favored by 7. The line started at 7.5. It's dropped down to 7. Dimitri, what do our Packers do here?
Okay, so let me go through it for you.
Please.
Okay? Dallas is a better team.
Yeah.
Dallas is actually better pretty much on all sides of the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Every which way.
All the way.
But for whatever reason,
the
Green Bay Packers decide that the Cowboys are just the team that they have to wreck. They have to derail them.
They do.
If I'm Dallas, this was the worst possible matchup.
Agreed.
that I could even. I said it to CD the other day, and he laughed at me when I said the statement. I go, if I'm Dallas, I would much rather just, please, for the love of God, give me Philadelphia or San Francisco in week 1 so we could just get it out of the way and get in game mode. You take the Packers. This is just the wrong kind of team for Dallas to play. We have their number. It makes no sense whatsoever. Worst case scenario, we cover the spread. They only beat us by 3. Best case scenario is that the Green Bay Packers, I'm picking them because I want to cheer for them to win. The head says Dallas, by far better team. Could even be a blowout. It just comes down to Green Bay's defense. That is the bottom line. It's just the defense. Which one wants to show up?
Right.
That's always been our problem every year. But from a team perspective, Dallas. Oh, I
100% agree with you. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to jinx anything. You guys know where my heart lies, and that's where I'm going to stay this week. But Dimitri's one. I don't like to agree with him all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. This one, I 100% agree. I think Philly. If Dallas was to play Philly or Tampa Bay or Detroit, anybody else, I actually think we'll see you guys in the Super Bowl. There's something about GB that causes, just like we have a very big problem with SF and Seattle, you guys have a problem with us. It just goes around.
Were you there with CD?
I was not there.
So, you know what's funny? Yesterday, what was on TV?
What?
2014 NFL Classics.
The same.
Packers. Cowboys.
Hey.
Same scenario. Remember with the field goal?
I remember.
I remember it vividly, my friend, right? I mean, we're talking, it's the wrong team for Dallas.
And McCarthy. You don't think McCarthy deep down wants Green Bay to win?
Come on.
Come on. He can't help himself. You're asking a guy to look at the dessert and not touch the dessert. You know he's touching the dessert. He can't help himself.
You know, this is what I love about the NFL playoffs. Yeah. It's one and done. It's make or break.
Love it.
It's unbelievable. You know, truth be told, though, if I was, I think under normal circumstances, and the Cowboys, to their credit, like I said, I'm not trying to just cop out and hedge my bet. I really do believe that Green Bay, the game is going to be very close.
Yeah.
I can see Green Bay winning. But also, the thing is Dallas could very much just say, hey, maybe they are the real deal.
Agreed.
Because they come in and they crush the Pack.
Yep.
34-10.
Easily could happen.
Right? Easily
could happen.
And to me, that would be the scariest scenario because, guys, I'm telling you, sports is just weird, man. Like, Green Bay has their number. Like, this is not, like, I'm Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
I'm thinking hard, like, oh, why?
I'm going to disagree with you. It
all seems to go wrong with them.
I think Jerry Jones is actually very happy it's Green Bay. I think he's cocky from the point of view going, I've given you guys everything. There's no reason you guys should lose to Green Bay.
I see. Okay.
I actually disagree. I think Jerry Jones is that kind of personality. He's like, no, I've given you everything. And he has. Mm-hmm. To your point, they are a better team from top to bottom. There is no doubt about it.
It's going to be a good game, though.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
A fun game.
God, I can't wait.
Now, what isn't fun is losing your job.
No.
Bill Belichick, 24 years at the helm of the New England Patriots. Dare I say the dynasty of dynasties. All right? Walked away the other day. Him and Kraft said, hey, you don't fire me. I don't quit on you. we're parting ways, which is usually what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on Bill Belichick walking away from all of this, all of it?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not go somewhere else? Why not ride it out? And he's not having fun with it anymore.
You can tell. He's a little upset.
Here's the other thing. It wasn't just Tom Brady's a big factor, but it wasn't just Tom Brady. It was the whole system that he got to kind of curate from day one. Mm-hmm. So this 24-year career was a lot of, this is what we have, this is what's going on, this is what we need. It was this big collaboration. Now he's starting from square one,
right,
without any real input on what's happening. And the fact that, look, in year one, when we were debating, is it Brady or is it Belichick? He seems to be winning. He seems to do that. Listen, it's fallen apart. And at this age and at this stage of your career, when you're potentially chasing the all-time record as well,
right,
that you might get it, why do you need to put up with this one? Good mutual parting. I think for him, go somewhere that you can actually make a splash and get some wins under your belt. There is no sense,
right?
Like, say whatever you want about Belichick, but there's no sense that a guy like this, as accomplished and tenured as he's been in the league, needs to take any flack or waste any of his personal time to get this up to speed on the program.
Right.
He should do what Tom Brady does and leave. Let's just find somewhere good. Honestly, pick those teams like the Clevelands or whoever. Like, if anyone's looking for a coaching change.
Atlanta apparently seems to be a spot that everyone's talking about.
Well, not a bad... not a bad little fit,
Somewhere
right?
to go. You know what it is with Belichick? What did Sir Isaac Newton create back in the day? Or what's his big thing? Gravity, right? Whatever goes up must come down.
For every action, there's a reaction.
And that's what really happened here. Like, he found a team that was just on its way up, rode it all the way through, and then we had the audacity to think that it was him and Tom, and it was him and Tom, granted, but you know what? This really does spell out exactly what we all kind of maybe wanted to know, and maybe some of us want to admit it now and don't. I saw this quote this week, and I loved it. We worked for Bill Belichick, but we played for Tom Brady.
Bingo.
And that's exactly what it comes down to, is that Bill is at that time of his life where the NFL has changed, right? It's high flying now. It's not run and gun or running the ball and good defense. Defense plays a role, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's a different kind of game.
Yeah, but
now.
he doesn't have the tools either. Mitch.
He doesn't. But you know what, Dimitri? That's his own fault too. He is adamant about not drafting wide receivers. He's adamant about thinking he can just do plug and plays and I'll make you into that. No. I mean, this is a guy that had Randy Moss at his disposal. He had the Wes Welkers. He's had the Edelmans. He's had, like, don't get me wrong, he's had some great players, Gronkowski, come through his arsenal. They all worked. But at the same time, it was Tom Brady that just made it all work. I do wonder now, what would have happened if Tom wasn't there? Chances are they don't win six championships. Either which way, he made a legacy for himself. The guy had 266, 121, 30 and 12 in the playoffs. He's fine. Guys, don't cry for Bill. Yeah. Don't cry for Argentina. Don't cry for Bill. He'll be fine. He'll be good. I am curious to see where he's going to end up, because it'll be fun to watch, and he should go for the record. He's so close, he's got to go for it now. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Real quick notes. Nick Saban, Alabama guy.
Hey.
He's basically Bill Belichick, but in the NCAA.
That's right.
He retires too. Now, here's the thing with you, Nicky. I don't really think you're that great. Everyone's calling you the greatest of all time. I'm sorry. I can't take the NCAA the same way I would look at the NFL. When you're Alabama, and granted, you created a winning culture there, but when every best player wants to come and play, I mean, come on. If you guys just look at the list of NFLers that he had under his arsenal, especially a couple years ago, his running backs, it's beyond an all-star team. It's beyond an all-star team.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm sorry. And last thing, Jim Harbaugh. Congratulations to Michigan.
Well done.
Hey.
Surprised?
Nah, not really. Did you cheat? Not really. Maybe a little bit. But you know what? Even if you were cheating, and you know us, we always say, if you're not cheating,
you're not trying.
Then the way I look at it, that's everyone else. And all the eyes were on you, and you still beat up Washington.
So that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Shame on you, Washington.
Exactly. We're off to rapid banter.
Ooh.
Here we go. The Detroit Lions are banning all Matthew Stafford jerseys to be worn at the playoff game this coming weekend. Onside or offside?
Oh, they're just lying to themselves.
Here's one thing. What is a person from Detroit supposed to wear? You can't wear a staff. What are you going to do? Not wear jogging pants either? Come on now. Come on. Oh, you can't wear your Scott Mitchell jerseys? What the hell's going on here, Detroit? Leave us alone.
Hey, it's not their fault. They bought the merchandise.
They bought the merch. National championship game was this past Monday, Michigan versus Washington. Drinks at the game were costing $33.55 per drink. U.S., by the way. Inflation, I'm sorry, does that include the tip?
A little low for U.S. stadium pricing.
That's crazy, bro. Corey Perry is eligible to be signed by any team. Where should he go?
Well, I guess mom's the word on that one.
I thought you were going to say the Jets. I swear to God, I thought you were going to say the Jets.
You should. Yeah. You should.
Past week, Jack Eichel was on the podcast. He disclosed his final two teams that he was ready to play for was the Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Calgary Flames. Did he make the correct decision?
Oh, yeah.
But you know what would have been cool if he gave to Calgary? Because him and Connor went 1-2. Connor in Edmonton, Jack in Calgary. Would have been good marketing.
Yeah, it would have been good. Yeah.
But
he bet on black,
he bet on,
not red.
And he won.
And he
won.
He hit it.
Last one. TJ Watt is a game time decision versus Buffalo. Who's better, TJ or JJ?
TJJJ.
I thought their brother BJ would have been the
That's your best rap.
That's it. What I tell you? What I say? Hey, we're off the Maga Malaka. Let's go. We're live. I'm live here at CJSW. All right. We talked about him earlier. It's Cutter Gauthier. He says, I don't want to do anything in Philly anymore. Get me out of here. Oh, yeah? Maga Malaka, things to do in Philly.
Hey.
You ready? Here we go.
Love it.
The Philly cheesesteak. Finding out which is the best one, Maga or Malaka.
Maga, you have to.
That's
you
what I'm
have
thinking.
to.
How about throwing snowballs at Santa? That's their thing.
You know what? Maga.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Why? Everyone's got to love Santa?
Hey, come on, Santa. The gig's up. You got to work for that chimney now.
You've been
you
breaking into homes for years, sir.
Amazon made your life easier. The streets are not.
How about meeting the governor of Philly? I don't know if you ever saw this guy, Josh Shapiro. Have you ever seen this guy?
No.
He looks
Maybe
like Kane's more special brother.
Josh
Shapiro.
Yeah. No, Malaka.
Yeah.
I don't.
Just Google him later and you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
This guy wears hoodies to all events.
Ooh, maybe
he used
I
to
might
be the union rep for some sort of trades. And he goes, I'm going to change the world. And he literally shows up to all events the way we're dressed.
Nice.
But you got to see this gentleman.
So he's a union delegate?
Just take a look at the guy.
Ray
and you'll see what I
Liotta?
mean.
Okay, gotcha.
Just take a look.
Okay.
How about taking a pic with Rocky in Philly? Maga or Malaka?
Yeah, Maga.
It's a
Come
Maga.
on, hey,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
iconic. The thing won an Oscar, you
Hey,
guys.
how about this? One of the famous guys in all of Philadelphia, Gritty. You get to hang out with Gritty.
I got to go Malaka on this one.
Really?
I do. I got to do it.
Well, speaking of Philadelphia Flyers, you get to talk to one of the greatest brains of all time, John Tortorella. Maga. That, to me, is why you want to stay on this team more than anything.
Maga, let me win a dinner with this guy, please.
Thank you.
Please.
Last thing, this team is notorious for it. It doesn't matter which team you play for in Philadelphia is what I'm getting at. You can't experience Philadelphia unless you grease the poles. Maga or Malaka.
How do you not want to grease the pole?
Why would you not want to grease the pole?
The pole greaser after sports events. I mean, that's not an easy job.
You're leaving all this behind, Cutter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Way to go. Way to cutter your losses.
That's it. That's
you
all.
can Gautier to heck for all I'm concerned.
Oh,
you know? Nah, I don't know. Those are all the puns that I have left.
That's it.
That's all I got.
Hey.
I can't harp on him too much. You know, if he was across the pond in Pittsburgh, I know arch rival, he'd stay. Because you know what? The Pittsburgh Penguins know how to treat people. You want to know who else knows how to treat people? Mitch does. I do. We do. The Sports Show, episode 289, kicking it. Second week in 2024. Get a look out next week.
Right.
We got the CJSW recording show. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, so second Tuesday, be like Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, at Sports Show Podcast, both on the YouTube and the Instagram. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also hit that notification button. That way you can just get the content like that. Shows up on your feed.
I mean, this show is pretty good.
Pretty good.
I mean, maybe we're the best in all
Of Calgary.
All of Calgary.
Episode name? Anyways, my friends, 289, one for the books. We got to shove it in the locker because we do got to hit the showers.
Have a great week.
If there's still any hot water left.
I don't think there is.
Guys, it's minus 45 in Calgary.
And that's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
Legit.
We should have legit done Maga Malaka like on that kind of stuff.
No. Philadelphia, we needed to find out why he's leaving.
We needed to find out.
Yeah.
It was for the people.
It was for the people.
We're for the people. We're for all.
For all
the people
yeah.
of Calgary.
Yeah.
And abroad.
Bye.
Between this and them, now you about to witness. Where freedom is, so now I tell
TJSW, we're Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.